Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bollywood Talkies. This is your host, Minnie, who is extremely happy today. Why? Dude, this is the 5th episode. Like, we're halfway through the first season of hopefully many more seasons to come. But honestly speaking, I never thought that I'd be making Bollywood content like this, let alone making a 5th podcast episode. But hey, I'm here to stay and I'm here today. So I thought that, the 5th episode had to have a little extra special something. So I decided to extend a hand and collaborate with someone who, just like me, is a big entertainment enthusiast and has been reviewing films, series, and books from every industry. Honestly speaking, I've only started following her because of her recent Instagram rant on a topic that I feel very strongly about. Yes, we will get to that topic, but for now, let me introduce my guest in collaboration today, the one who has a very smart way with words, not just mine, but your fictional friend. Everyone, please welcome Gehna. Hi.
Hi. Firstly, thank you for introducing me and for having me on your show today.
You deserve it. I've seen the post and I immediately knew. I was like, okay, this is the type of person I need to have on the show. So it's all you.
And I just took a shot. I just thought, let me send my post to some other pages that also have Bollywood content. And somehow it just clicked with you. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
Great. I'm so grateful for that click. Now, Gehna, let me ask you a quick question because you love movies and you love all kinds of entertainment. If you had to choose between movies, series, and books, which one is your favorite form of entertainment?
That is one of the hardest questions I have ever been asked. But it's really hard because I genuinely do read every day. I genuinely do watch something or the other every day. But I think it'll have to be series because so I have seen over 250 TV shows. And I'm like a huge TV series fan. Like I can watch anything. Like I don't have a fixed genre. So I think I'll pick TV shows.
Wow, that's interesting. So, Gehna, you've watched so many series, you've read so many books, but now let's talk about movies because, this show is definitely Bollywood related, but I always give a movie review. So let me ask you, what was the last Indian film that you've watched?
So I actually wanted to watch both Raksha Bandhan and Laal Singh Chaddha, but I didn't end up watching Raksha Bandhan because I don't know, I just never really got into it. So the last movie I saw was Laal Singh Chaddha. I just saw it last week, yeah.
Oh, last week. So pretty fresh, right the day of the release.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Now, how about this? I've given lots of movie reviews and I'm kind of tired, but also I deserve a break, shouldn't I? I mean, it's the 5th episode. And to maintain that something different in this episode, how about you share your review with our audience and you can let them know whether they should watch this film this weekend.
Yeah, okay, let's do this. So,
Alrighty.
I mean, since I review movies, why not?
Go for it.
But yeah, so basically if you've seen Forrest Gump, the plot is very, very similar. And, the story has been adapted in a way where, the Indian audience can really connect to it. And Forrest Gump was a movie that was about, how one guy changed the course of the US history and politics and how that ended up shaping his life in turn. But Laal Singh Chaddha more or less, focuses on events that are a little less problematic and that may have been done to steer clear of controversy that happens in India. And so in my opinion, I don't know if this is a safe decision or is it a brave decision, but yeah, whatever. It didn't really affect the story, which is a good thing. And yeah, the appeal of the movie remains similar to the original Oscar-winning masterpiece. In its entirety, I think Laal Singh Chaddha does a very good job in retaining the original's charm and adapting it in a very familiar and nostalgic way for the Indian audience, because we have events that have taken place throughout India's history and that really connects us to the story. And yeah, Amir Khan as Laal Singh Chaddha is doing his very, very best to capture the character's innocence and the likability that Forrest Gump had. Like, he's a character you just can't not like. And it's the same thing with Lal. And I was really expecting to get annoyed of those big eyes that he has in the trailer, like PK. But it happened. It happened only thrice, which is I think a fair amount. And yeah, it certainly wasn't like his best performance till date, but it wasn't his worst. So I think we should give him a break. And it's taken him and the creator, like the writer of the movie, Atul Kulkarni, 14 years to develop this into a movie. So I think we should give them some credit. And the way that they've done it, I think it's really great. Kareena Kapoor as Rupa D'Souza was cast perfectly, in my opinion. And my favorite character was Mona Singh as Lal's mother, because she was just such a delight to watch on screen. And now I'll be very honest, I'm very disappointed with like the whole Mohammed Paji thing, which was just added because they wanted to give it a nice twist that he's, from Pakistan and all of that. But I think it took away from the original character's essence. So it's an adaptation of that character. I don't think it was the best decision. But if you've not seen the original, then it won't really bother you. And Naga Chaitanya as Bala was again a treat to watch, and I think he was the perfect, Desi Babba adaptation. Like, I think that was a very nice thing. And yeah, overall, the film was a remarkable adaptation, an ode to the original. And yeah, it wasn't perfect, but but I don't think it was a bad watch. Like, I still think you should go to the theater, and it's worth the price of one ticket. I definitely think you'll have a good time if you watch it in theaters. And yeah, if you've seen the original, don't compare like Tom Hanks to Amir Khan. Just appreciate the script in the way that it's been written. And yeah, credit to the filmmakers, because some scenes in Laal Singh Chaddha were like frame by frame similar to Forrest Gump. Some dialogues also, like they've just like literally translated it into Hindi, which is something I personally liked. Maybe some people might not, but I liked it because, it reminded you of Forrest Gump, which an adaptation is supposed to. So in that way, yeah, props to the creators. And yeah, Laal Singh Chaddha is available in theaters still, so you can go and watch the movie. And trust me, I think according to me, you will have a good time. Yeah, that's more or less it.
Oh, well, folks, that was Gehna's review of Laal Singh Chaddha. As she said, go ahead, watch the film. It's in theaters now, or if you're living in a country where I am, it is going to be available this Friday, but still go ahead and watch it. I'm actually looking forward to it because I haven't watched the film yet, but I am going to be watching it very, very soon. And after Gehna's review, I think I'm going to watch it twice, maybe. So yeah, thank you so much for that. Now, Gehna, I think there were a few points in the review that you just made that I kind of wanted to, really shed light upon. Because I think this would be connected to like what we're going to be talking about very soon, the whole boycott trend. So yeah, in the beginning of the review, you mentioned that the film was made in a way to really cater to the Indian audience. And if I had to like give my 2 cents or my opinion on this type of a process, I think it was very easy to do back in previous films, let's say the 2000s and before. Because let's be honest, we watch movies from that era today, whether it's films like Kuch Kuch Hota Hai or Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, things like that. But whichever kind of film you're watching, I think everyone seemed to enjoy those kind of films, right? There was something in it for everybody. Today, if you just put on an old movie, everybody will sit down and watch the film with you, right? But today, everybody has their own quote-unquote kind of a film, right? And everywhere you look, you hear somebody saying, oh, this is not my kind of film, or yeah, this is my kind of film. And personally, I think that has really happened because of the niche filmmaking that has been done recently. You see, everyone wants to see themselves and see their problems and stories on the big screen, which is not a completely wrong mindset, but whatever happened to, watching entertainment for the sole purpose of being entertained? What are your thoughts on that?
That's exactly what is bothering me about movies in general today, and the audience in general. Like, the movies are made for the audience, and if we ourselves are going to boycott a movie or just not pay attention to anything that they're trying to say in whatever way they're trying to promote, and just directly put one hashtag in front of them, then that really bothers me, because at least we can wait till we watch the film before we decide what it's going to be like. And don't let anything that an actor may have said ruin the work of everybody who's worked on the film. It's not one person, it's not one actor. Like, that's what's really bothering me about today's generation. And I think we've just become very soft as an audience. Like, just appreciate cinema for the art it is, appreciate it for the story, if nothing else.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, and I'm glad you said something about how the audience has become soft, because now my what my next point is would have to relate to that. Where if we had to look back at the recent episode of Coffee with Karan. I don't remember who exactly said this, so audience, please forgive me. But someone, I think it was either Sonam or Kareena, who said that people are not taking risks. Everybody wants to play it safe. Everybody wants to be diplomatic. No one really wants to be outrageous and, even may look negative in the public eye. Nobody even wants to answer the spicy Coffee with Karan questions anymore. Why do you think, or do you think that people or the Indian celebrities are scared of the audience's perceptions?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that, because they've become so scared, like actors in general. Like, they're wondering, like, I don't know if you saw, Karan Johar recently posted, it was Ayan Mukherjee's birthday, who's the director of Brahmastra, and he posted a picture for him wishing him happy birthday, and he wished him happy birthday in the end, but the entire post was about the fact that they're so scared that Brahmastra is about to release and it will be cancelled before it's even released. And they were, they must be going through a very hard time, in my opinion, because we as the audience are not appreciating the film and we're just boycotting it for no reason. I think we should just wait, let the movie release, let us see what it's like. If you don't like it, you don't like it, you're entitled to your opinion. But I think the movie is it deserves one shot, right? I mean, we really need to watch it. And yeah, that's more or less what I have to say, because I think everyone deserves one chance. Like, just give them that chance. Let's wait for the movie to be released before we say anything negative about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's really important to wait when all we've been getting is just like glimpses and everything. To make a judgment based off of a glimpse is really crazy. And not fair to the people that, as you said, have put in work on that, which actually goes into, now what we're going to be talking about, the whole boycotting trend, and this is the topic that, sort of allowed this collaboration to happen. So audience, for you guys, if you haven't seen that post which I'm talking about, please head on to Gehna's Instagram page, which is @yourfictionalfriend, and read the latest post, because in the first part of the post, you discuss something about the comparison between Bollywood and Hollywood films, right? Movies like Marvel, and they're being hyped up by everyone, pre-release, even they announced their release. But movies like Brahmastra, as we discussed, are being laughed at for petty reasons. Why do you think this is happening? Why are we glorifying Hollywood movies and not giving our own movies a chance?
If I had an answer to why this is happening, I don't think I would have made the post. Like, the entire point is that it's very unjust because we don't have any reason. Like the entire point why Laal Singh Chaddha is also being boycotted is because Amir Khan may have said, or not even Amir Khan's ex-wife, she's his ex-wife at this point, she may have said something 6 years ago and they're boycotting his film today because of that very reason. And yeah, that's just really bothering me. And you're right about the whole Hollywood thing. So like let me bring this to your notice. I'm a huge Marvel fan, okay? Like, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I'm also somebody who gets excited at the pre-release and all of that. But I'm also someone who gets excited when something like Brahmastra is coming, because I have seen what Marvel can do. I have seen Brahmastra's glimpses, and I know they're trying. Like, Bollywood is trying to do something. They're trying to scale up. They're trying to do something they've never done before. And that's where it's really triggering me that, we're not even giving them a chance. You're just saying it's going to be bad, it's terrible. But why not give them a chance? If Hollywood can do it, then, so can we. Why are they getting all the attention, all the praise, all the hype? And why are our movies not being appreciated? Like, I think we just bring in a lot of other factors that doesn't happen in Hollywood. Like, we just watch Marvel movies because it's a Marvel movie, and you think that, yeah, anything can happen. Then why aren't we giving the same freedom to Bollywood movies?
You know, that I it's something that has definitely like bothered me all this time, because as someone who has been a very big enthusiast of Bollywood, I will be honest and I will say that I'm not as big of a Hollywood fan as I am of a Bollywood fan. Despite growing up outside of the country, I've connected to Hindi films a lot more. So for me, when I see that, okay, Hollywood films and the artists are giving a lot more respect than our own artists and movies, it's kind of not fair. But how much are we to blame the audience when sometimes our celebrities act like that? And what I mean from that is like the mindset of our Indian industry, including celebrities, while not all, but some for sure, we have seen them so many times say things like, they clearly put up Hollywood on a pedestal, and other, international people. They're all put on a pedestal by our own celebrities, whether it is wanting to work with international stars, or, making adaptations for popular films, or fashion inspiration. Why do we always compare, like, or why do we always call Malaika Arora the Desi Kim Kardashian, but the energy is never reciprocated? Yeah, yeah. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get it. I think it all just flows into the audience because it needs to start somewhere, and I think you're right when you say it comes probably from the actors who are more connected to Hollywood than we are, because we as audience are only watching their films. They're in the industry, so they must be more involved, they must be more in touch. But I think it just comes off of the fact that Bollywood is a fan of Hollywood, and were not treated as equals. They themselves don't see them as equals. I think that's where it comes from. Because initially, if you go to see also, like, all our movies, they started, a long time ago, and Bollywood started much later. So I think they've always just taken inspiration from Hollywood. But that inspiration also means that, we lose touch of our own identity. The fact that we're from India, and we lose touch of the fact that we have a lot of creativity ourselves too. So we don't really need to look for inspiration elsewhere.
No,
I think it's also that.
that's true. But also, if we do think about it, even if Bollywood started like after the Hollywood movies, it did still sort of reach to an extent where you can classify them as individual industries, which we can do today, right? But there's still a lot of like, I don't know what's the proper word for it, but there's still so much of an internalized inferiority, if I may say, or making them superior when it's not really the case. And the worst part is that when I talk about the energy not being reciprocated, I also talk about how like Bollywood is seen in or how Bollywood is represented in international projects. Like you will always hear if someone talks about Bollywood, or if they like in a Hollywood movie, if someone talks about Bollywood, you would always hear them talk about, oh, drama or colors, or over exaggeration. Like, I don't think Bollywood is just that. There is much more to it than that, and the industry definitely has the capability to really be a lot more. And yeah, I guess this is something that they need to figure out for themselves and really appreciate themselves, I guess.
Yeah, I think it starts from them. Like, it all starts from them because, yeah, you're right. I mean, with the whole fact that, Hollywood only sees India in general, not just Bollywood, like India, or, yeah, like if we're talking about Bollywood here. So, as Bollywood movies are just these, full masala films and all of that. But I think we've not broken the language barrier yet, which has been broken with, at least like, let's say with like South Korean films or Japanese films or Chinese films. Like, they have broken those barriers now. People are going beyond the subtitles. They're okay with, watching a film that they don't understand. And I think we as Bollywood can do more. Like, I think we've started putting subtitles in a lot of our movies now. Like, the ones that at least don't release on OTT. Like, in theaters also now, I went to see Laal Singh Chaddha, they had subtitles in English. So I think the more we start to understand that a Bollywood movie is not just for the Indian audience, people from all around the world can also watch it if you just give them something, if you just help them watch it, like just adding subtitles or releasing it in multiple languages, dubbing it, something like that that lets them watch it. I think that can help. The more we try to eradicate those, barriers between Hollywood and Bollywood, I think it needs to start from the movies itself. Because I mean, yeah, I think once Hollywood starts watching our real Bollywood movies, which are not just, the time pass masala movies, I think they'll really start to understand the craft and the creativity that we as, Indians also have with Bollywood movies.
Exactly. I completely agree. Honestly, Bollywood, or in the international eye, I think Hindi movies are much more than just Slumdog Millionaire or Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Like, we have stuff in the middle as well, so please watch that. But
Yeah,
now,
we're not just all rich or poor. We are there is a middle ground.
yeah, exactly. But now, I don't know if it's right to bring this up right now because of the amount of conversation this might bring up again. But I think it is important that we do talk about, because it is related to the whole boycotting. Today, so many star kids, the talk of nepotism has increased so much of the hashtag boycott Bollywood trend. What is your take on that? Like, why are we against star kids?
So I have had multiple conversations about this, surprisingly, with my dad. I mean, since we're talking about nepotism, but we've both of us are like huge movie buffs, and we've had this conversation, and it's very simple in my head. Nepotism seems like a very big word, and it's a tag now that has been given to all star kids, but we don't understand one thing in very plain and simple terms. It's about a parent wanting their child to have an easier life than they did. It's very simple. If it doesn't matter in, and we don't see it, we only see it in Bollywood. But if you go to see that, for example, if I'm a doctor and my child wants to become a doctor, they will have an easier way other than somebody else. Similarly, if I'm a businesswoman and I want to pass on my business to my child says that they want to take over this business. Of course, they are not starting from zero. Why will I let my child start from zero when he has something that he can take over immediately? Like, that's, we don't understand. Nepotism is not just a tag that you give to star kids and you tell them, then you blame them for it. It's something that goes on in every single industry, in every single household, might I add. Like, you always look up to your father and you want to be like your father. You always look up to your mother and you want to be like your mother. So then why are we shaming star kids for it? I don't understand. I'm really against this whole nepotism argument.
Yeah, I completely agree. It is something that I also think about sometimes, because at the end of the day, it is there and it's very evident in every industry. The only problem is that there's too much of a public eye or a camera eye on our industry, which is why it looks very, very bad. But honestly, it's not that bad, because even if you look at it, like we spoke about, that how like the mindset really comes from the audience and the celebrities themselves. At the end of the day, we've said it so many times, even when Sushant Singh Rajput passed away, a lot of people everywhere were saying that at the end of the day, it is the audience that makes or breaks a film and stars. And not only films, but everything. Today you put on a drama, if the audience does not like it, it's not going to work, right? The money does not come in. So at the end of the day, it is the audience. Not to say completely on them, but yeah, majority of the time, it is the audience that really decides whether or not a star kid or an actor should stay, right? Today we have so many, let's not call them products of nepotism, so many star kids, or so many kids who have like famous parents who are actors, but not anymore. Like, if I don't want to name some of them, but the audience can tell when a person or when the actor has that much talent or not, that they want to keep them on screen. And they're doing that. I feel if you make if you're going to say who's talented, you're also keeping like chalo, you say that person A is not talented, you get them off the screen. But if you also keep saying that person B is not talented and you keep like making jokes, you keep like putting them in relevance, they will stay coming on your screens because you're still talking about them, and that's sort of how the industry works. The more you talk about them, the more they will be on screen, right? So I think that balance, or choosing which actor you want to see more of, is completely on the audience's shoulders, if you ask me.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about that. It's all on us. Like, I wouldn't say all on us because I mean, star kids are getting an easier way into the industry compared to those who don't have any connections in the industry. But in the end, it's up to us. If we don't want to watch their movie, we won't watch their movie. If we don't like them, we won't like them. I just don't want anybody to hate on. Like, they're still human beings. We forget that they're human beings. Just don't hate on somebody. If you don't like them, just don't watch their movies. Don't support them. That's completely fine. You don't want to waste your money on them. That's completely okay. But just don't hate on them because they're human beings. They have a life. So yeah, I think we should just appreciate their movies if we like them. Don't watch their movies if you don't like them. It's very simple.
Yeah, exactly. Just imagine if you were in that situation, or if you may sort of be in that situation in your own line of profession, you wouldn't want that to happen to you. So folks, leave them alone. If you, as Gehna said, if you don't want to see them on your screen, don't put them on your screen. But also don't be rude. So yeah, I think that sums it up in terms of the conversation. That was very interesting. I'm so glad that I was able to have a conversation like this, because I really wanted to like bring these topics on the show because it is important, it is vital to talk about. But I didn't know how, so thank you, Gehna. You helped me so much.
I'm glad to be here. Because even I wanted to, like, the entire point of my post was that I just want to start a conversation. It's okay if you don't want to watch any movie. It's okay if you don't agree with me. But just, I think starting these conversations is important.
Yeah, exactly. And thank God for starting this conversation. It went really well.
Yeah, I had a good time too.
Well, after a very intense but very interesting conversation, we are going to make Gehna feel like the best Bollywood celebrity she can be and treat her to two rounds of a rapid fire and a quiz in true Karan Johar Coffee with Karan style. Gehna, how excited are you for this?
I'm gonna pretend I'm a celebrity for just like 5 minutes.
Why pretend? This is your time to feel like one.
All those moments where I've imagined myself giving those rapid fire answers, even though they may not be rapid or have a lot of fire, but I don't mind giving this a try.
It's okay. Now is your time to practice because soon we will be on that couch. So let's do the rapid fire first. First question. Movies that are based off of books. We've had tons of them, both Indian and international. Which movie do you think did a great job in portraying the book that it was based off of?
Okay, this is very tough, but I think I'm going to say Hunger Games because I could exactly picture like words from the book on the screen, like the first part of Hunger Games. I think I'm going to say Hunger Games, yeah.
Okay, Hunger Games. Second question, which is your favorite filmy character?
Oh, my favorite filmy, this is easy. It's going to be Bunny always. Bunny from YJHD. I just feel like he's someone we should aspire to be when it comes to a Bollywood character. So yeah.
Alrighty, third question. If you could choose to have your love life be like any one Hindi movie plot, which film story would you choose?
I'm trying to think of something that's easy, but I don't think love is easy. So I'm just going to pick my favorite movie, which is Ye Jawani Hai Deewani, even though you have to wait 8 years to finally get your love story. But yeah, YJHD.
Why not? It's okay. If it's worth it, then why not? 8 years is nothing. Okay, next question. Imagine a world where books are completely non-existent, but only one is allowed to be in existence. Which book would you keep?
I'm going to say It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover because it's, out of all the books I've read, it's the one that has the most truth to it. And yeah, it talks about some heavy topics, but it's a nice read, and I think everyone should read that book.
Amazing. Okay, who according to you is the most underrated actor in Bollywood and who is the most overrated?
Underrated. Okay, I'll have to think about this because I think all the underrated actors recently have been really coming in mainstream cinema. But I think Vikrant Massey, I really like him. I think you can give him some big roles and he'll be able to pull it off. Overrated. I don't by any means mean that he doesn't deserve what he's had, but I'm not a huge fan of Ranveer Singh. I think he can pull off every character, I don't doubt it, but I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, I'm just not a really big fan of Ranveer Singh in general.
That's okay, to each their own. Now, which series did you not like at first, but ended up loving it as you kept watching?
This is also a tough one because in the end, like, I'm very non-judgmental when it comes to TV shows, so I do end up liking everything I watch. But I think the Big Bang Theory, because it grows on you, like you just need to give it some time, and then Science is also funny. So.
Oh, that's great. Well, that was the last question of the rapid fire, but I do have a bonus question, which if you have been listening to my podcast episode, you will know that you have to give me 2 names that you would want to suggest for Alia and Ranbir's baby.
Oh, 2 names.
Yeah.
This is interesting. So it's a very weird thing, but I have like a list of baby names with me, like in general.
It's not weird. It's not weird. Trust me.
So I'm just gonna open up my list. It's in my phone only. I really have a list of baby names. Wow, this is weird. Okay. So I'm actually a fan of names, like Indian names that just are like very 2022, like just modern Indian names. So I think I'm trying to think of what will sound nice with Kapoor. Oh, I really like the name Tarasha, like for a girl. I think it's a really nice name, something very different. You don't hear it often. And for I think if it's a boy, then something like J, like not J, but like J, like Jay. But it's not J, it's J. Yeah, something different. A modern twist.
Okay, so Tarasha and Jay. That is so cute. That is really exciting. So Alia Ranbir, if you are listening, which I hope you are, we have a list of names for you and your baby or babies because there are speculations of it being twins. So yay. But yeah, that was the end of the rapid fire. Now is the quiz time. 5 questions. Gehna, how ready do you feel for a Bollywood quiz? Do you think you're prepared enough?
I think if I fail now, I'm going to be very, very heartbroken today. But yeah, let's do this.
Okay, let's see. First question. Name the popular 2011 Hindi song that was sung by Hrithik Roshan, Farhan Akhtar and Abhay Deol.
Senorita.
That is correct. Yeah. Senorita from Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. Next question. What is the last name of the family that Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham revolves around?
Oh, I know this. Raichand. That's right, no?
Yes, that is correct. Raichand is correct. Now, name the 3 movies starring Shah Rukh Khan that was directed by Farah Khan.
Om Shanti Om. I know one more. I can't remember. What was the original one? Mehuna. Shit, I know 2. Happy New Year.
Yes.
Was that director? Yeah.
Yes. So yes, Happy New Year, Mehuna and Om Shanti Om. That is absolutely correct. Now, which foreign country does the male lead in Krish travel to meet his love interest, Priya?
I don't remember, but I have a feeling it's Singapore. Is it Singapore?
That is a great guess and a great feeling. Singapore is the correct answer. And last question. What are the professions of John Abraham and Abhishek Bachchan in the movie Dostana?
Oh, I don't remember this at all. I don't think they have the same profession, no? It's different professions.
Yeah, it's different professions.
John Abraham is a model? Is he? No, he's a photographer.
He's a photographer, yeah.
He's a photographer. I don't remember what Abhishek Bachchan's profession was.
He's a nurse.
Oh, nurse. I don't
He's
know.
he's a male nurse, so there was a lot of jokes regarding that.
Yeah.
So yes, that is. You've got one correct, but still we will give, if we had a hamper, we would give the entire hamper to you. That was your quiz, and you got 5 out of 5 correct if we do not include the nurse question, but that was amazing. You did great.
I'll take it.
Save yourself the heartbreak.
Thank God. I would have
Yeah.
been very disappointed.
Well, not only does that bring us to the end of the rapid fire and quiz segment, but it also brings us to the end of the episode. Gehna, honestly, this was my 5th episode. I knew I wanted to make it special, and that's exactly what you helped to make it. You did extremely well. You made it feel extra special. How do you feel being a part of the 5th episode today?
Yeah, well, firstly, thank you for inviting me. This is my first podcast ever as your fictional friend, and I think, yeah, it was such a nice experience. I'm so glad we ended up connecting, and you messaged me, even though all it took was like one post, for 2 people across the world to have one conversation with each other, and I think that's really great. So yeah, thank you for having me on here.
Thank you for joining. Well, folks, I hope you all enjoyed this collaborative episode, and for more of Gehna's unconditional rants, please hit up her Instagram, which is @yourfictionalfriend. And till then, don't hesitate to give us a like. Well, both of us, a like, a follow, and this episode, also make sure you give it a whole bunch of likes, share it with all of your friends and family, and please leave your comments all over the streaming platforms and both of our Instagrams. This Instagram is @Bollywood Talkies with the extra S, because we are extra. I will see you guys real soon with another episode, so till then, please keep your notifications on. Until then, this is Minnie signing off. Well, this is Minnie and Gehna signing off. Namaste, goodbye, and thank you for listening to Bollywood Talkies.